Cypher might just be the best agent on Bind. FNATIC pulled him out in their Bind debut, but everyone was wondering why. No other team in the world was playing him on this map, so why were the world champions? Literally everyone else are picking agents like Sage to bolster down their defense, or a second initiator, or even duelist to add more explosive power to their attack. I mean, why would anyone want an agent whose entire kit can be destroyed by one Ray Satchel? Who, by the way, is an agent who has an 100% pick rate on this map. I just don't get it. Do they have secret insane setups? Are they just hard countering the meta? Or did Riot give his camera its gun back? Well, it's all three. Okay, besides that last one. But after watching this video, you too are going to be convinced that Cypher really is the new Bind meta. Now don't get me wrong, to play Cypher at this high level, you need to have strong decision-making skills. And if that sounds like you, you should check out War Thunder, the sponsor of this video. War Thunder is the most immersive vehicle combat game ever made. You can play more than over 2,000 tanks, planes, helicopters, and ships that all span from today to over 100 years back in time. You can also apply hundreds of camouflages, place historical markings anywhere on your machines, as well as 3D decorations. And all of this is included in their dynamic combined arms PvP battles. You can also play in any system, including PC or your favorite console. My favorite part about War Thunder are their handcrafted effects. The fire and smoke, soundscape, and vehicle details actually make you feel like you're on a battlefield. So play War Thunder today for free and register using my link to get a large free bonus pack including premium vehicles, boosters, and much more. Now let's get back to the breakdown. We have a close game. It's 6-6 with FNATIC now on defense. And if you look at their team comp, they're running a Cypher. Now, the reason why he's not picked on this map is because Raze is very popular. Bind is also a pretty close quarters map, so there's a high chance she rips apart his setups with her utility. But, in case you forgot, FNATIC are world champions. If anyone could make this agent work, it's these guys. So that makes this half the perfect time for Cypher to shine and prove that he really is meta on this map. And with this unusual agent, FNATIC also have a pretty unique pistol strat. They're stacking B with 4 players. But don't worry, Viper's okay on A. They have Cypher spy cam peeking over the enemy lurk wall and a trapwire back sight to let FNATIC know if Vitality pushed back sight. And here we start to see why Cypher was picked. He is the perfect counter to the meta Viper utility on this map. FNATIC can simply let Cypher's trapwires and camera consistently spot this entire lane and not have to worry about people lurking up. So every time Vitality pop up their lurk smokes, no pressure is made until this utility is broken. And if it does, then they can respond accordingly. So with this Cypher setup, they also have Viper's Toxic screen that helps her stay alive by cutting off default, but it also allows for a sick showers pinch from the long teleporter. This is a sick setup. And Vitality are headed right for this trap. They have 3 players going up short and 2 headed into showers. They start the round slow and take their time taking showers behind a sky flash, but Chronicle is just jiggling for information. He's the trigger for what's about to be a showers trap.
Let's find out, shall we? Going back in 6 apiece here. A very close series across the board, map 1 included. Seems like it's no different, but Chronicle making very good work of Bone Cold. However, Twiston deals with it. Pops up the wall and makes us feel inaccessible.
This was a perfect reaction from Vitality. Whenever you're getting pinched, you want to fight one side, and that's what they did in taking down Chronicle. But because they had low HP, they walled off the crunch and allowed themselves to heal up. And FNATIC choose not to break the wall. Their teammates are nowhere near them. And if they went any more aggressive, Vitality would just fight them head on with their 2 other teammates before FNATIC's players could come help. So all of FNATIC meet up in short for the retake. Sky dogs it out, but Destrian breaks it all the way from lamps. Leo smells a bait. He swings the short cubby, dies, but Alfair gets the trade. FNATIC bursts out of short, and it's at this time we see Vitality realize that backside is free. All of FNATIC are flanking. So Mulsi pushes backside, but he gets tangled up in that truck's trapwire. FNATIC now know exactly where he is.
However, a 3v3 now. We'll decide they go. It's Alpha to find Twiston, but the trade comes in. Destrian still being a noose.
So after isolating the crossfires with Cypher's cage, it's a 1 versus 1, and Boaster knows that since Mulsi hasn't swung yet, he's got to be somewhere cheeky.
1v1. Is that on enough? Boaster does damage!
Boaster's molly bonked off of Mulsi's head, telling him exactly where to spray. And I've told you before in my other videos, the Frenzy is nuts. It's the best pistol in the game. And it's only been 1 round, and we've already seen some pretty cool plays. So FNATIC dropped their first full buy round due to some nasty shots hit by Vitality. Now FNATIC has to save, and Vitality are bonusing the rifles they picked up from last round. The defense starts with 3 people gearing up to push out of Shower, Sky roaming about, and Viper anchoring down B. Their eco strat is to lurk out with this Viper wall that covers Hookah, Long, and now Shower. Then they're going to drop the wall and take down anyone holding this area. Wait a minute. Is it okay for Cypher to get this aggressive? Yes, of course, as long as he isn't the first person to swing. He also has his camera to spot anyone running up short in response. But the attackers are taking it easy. They have 3 people headed towards Long, 1 holding the short push, and 1 holding Showers. FNATIC start the round by contacting up Showers and flipping up their Viper wall to prevent the offense from following their Sage Slow. And after Chronicle spots people ready to take Long, this trio pushes out of Shower looking for a kill. But can their pistols take down this Bulldog from this range?
Now the cuts off that Showers TP a little better.
Alfier ends up getting the kill, and this is huge. Now, normally you don't really see Cyphers pushing out on defense and getting aggressive. I mean, you can't blame him, because if he dies, he and all of his utility watching short goes down with him. But when he's close to, or has his ultimate, this is actually the best time to make an aggressive play. On defense, it's hard to use Cypher's ult, as he's usually the side anchor and retaking. But by pushing out and allowing him to trade somebody, this gives him a corpse, map control to secure an ult, and then with that information, they get the round. So Cypher flings a cage and activates his neural theft. FNATIC now know what the plan is, and you see the rotates coming quick. Plus, Alfier can now go for a safer flank since he knows exactly where Viper is. So both teams meet up on B, but FNATIC are retaking. Quick.
Leo's got his flash, doesn't get it. It still wins the fight?
How? As well.
How is this happening? Vitality are crumbling, and this is frustrating for sure.
FNATIC have managed to flood out and retake the site, but now their job is to just stay alive so that Alfier's flank can come on in and finish the job.
And the timing's just right for Alpha. This is a devastating round and a brilliant one for FNATIC.
Back-to-back flip.
Because of this proactiveness from Cypher, FNATIC were able to steal an important Thrifty. After FNATIC's Thrifty, Vitality are in a rough spot. They only have 2 rifles and a couple sheriffs to their name. But Twistin is 1 point away from his res. If they can get the Shower Orb and maybe Sage gets a trade, this round is certainly winnable. But FNATIC have the read. They're set up in a 2-1-2 spread with all their Cypher utility again set up in short. Again, this allows him to fight Shower without ever having to worry about this meta Viper lurk setup. He can use his camera at any time to re-clear the wall. If his first strip goes down, the worst case is that, I don't know, the lurk gets stuck in lamps. And then on top of that, there's this anti-plant / sight trip, and it's just a really sticky setup to deal with if you're an attacker. And like I said, this opens up Cypher to make plays elsewhere with his team. Now, look closely. Remember this Viper wall? Now try and remember what they did with it last time.
Going back in 6 apiece here. A very close series across the board, map 1 included. Seems like it's no different.
That's the round. Now, what's this play called again?
It's a trap!
Bingo. Now let's see if it works. So within the first 6 seconds, Sage and Brimstone take Shower's control with the slow orb, but they have no idea that this is exactly what FNATIC want.
Outside of that, so Bone Cold on a full buy.
That's
And then
another pinch set up here.
It's so well done.
Vitality unknowingly walked right into this trap and even dropped the spike in Shower. Sky then takes the teleporter to try and recover the round, but with this spike being in such an awful position and bad weapons, there's just no use.
Decision to make. There is no good choice here. And being baited on through. Chronicle, they want to close it down, but the spike going down there was the death of Vitality that round.
FNATIC setup has been killing it this game, so much so that they're running the same spread with this new meta Viper wall. But Vitality are not going near A again. They just got embarrassed over there and want nothing to do with this part of the map. They're in a 2-2-1 setup. They're defaulting for Long and Hookah control with Viper lurking short. So will these vital trap wires finally get broken? Boaster opens a round by immediately smoking Long and Leo sending a sky flash right past it. It tags someone, but Boaster knows how strong his ult can be and he sticks to the orb. Vitality are blinded, but eventually respond with a dog through the smoke, and after scaling, they finally have Long control. The other 2 in a Hookah had to wait out Viper's smoke before taking it with their Roomba. But how are FNATIC responding to all of this defaulting? Nothing. They're just sitting there? Well, what their plan is that they're going to try and hold site with the 3 people here. Because Cypher's trapwires are never being broken, Raze is in a really good position to rotate and be quick and force Vitality to run into a 4-stack. Normally you don't want to try and hold B site, as there's not many spots to play in without easily getting traded out. And you should be fighting for hookah, long, or elbow at least, so your team has an easier retake. But if your team feels confident that they have the read and can stack the site, then this is a great play. Cypher should be able to hold out on his own in lamps with his entire setup still intact. So Vitality group up outside of B, but they don't know that there's 3.5 people here.
Okay, spotting Leo. One smoke goes in, flash towards long. Flash finds nothing on the other side. Yeah, this is going nowhere. They can both evade this, and actually FNATIC taking the space back.
I think there was some miscommunication somewhere in there, but I don't think everyone was ready to go out with Bone Cold. Plus, they also got Viper mollied and Brim ulted, so they have to wait that out. And because they don't have a Sentinel, they can't really rotate out safely and go A. Nothing is holding map control for them. So Vitality kinda has to re-hit with this low amount of time. But Chronicle wants to investigate the lack of noise and hops back into hookah and asks Leo to flash for him.
Reset because Destrian's now solo with the spike.
Oh!
He gets team flashed, and their stack is now a bit weaker. But now you see Raze fully commit to the B rotate. If Cypher were a Sage or any other agent, you can't really leave them on their own like you could with Cypher. If the enemy used the shower teleporter and ran back to A, you would be screwed with one person here. So as soon as Leo's dog confirms they're still long, Raze commits to the stack, and Vitality are about to run into FNATIC's crossfires.
Yeah, will be confirmed here. We'll at least get the stun. I'm not sure Boaster did actually send it, but...
Okay, but Leo's backside. Bose is still holding on as well, playing from Cubby. Timing, a little awkward, but he actually gets away with the kill towards Destrian, and Leo is just looking fabulous in this.
Now, Raze got Brim mollied and couldn't really get onto site, but her being here gives FNATIC the confidence to play around site. Plus, Durka could get out with double satchels and been there for the trade. Regardless, if Vitality want to win, they need to stop FNATIC from getting so much value from their Cypher. Vitality took last round pretty convincingly with some dirty sheriff shots and are starting to build some momentum off that thrifty. This round, they recognize that they're facing Chronicle's Viper's Pit and start in a pretty spread 2-1-1-1 setup to try and sniff out where it is and then adjust accordingly. But FNATIC have a special setup for when they have this ultimate online. They're in a 2-3 setup, but Cypher and Viper are playing together. Cypher has his camera for Octagon to gather consistent information before the enemy pushes into the ult, and he has a trapwire for the hookah jump out. This setup allows his Viper to play far back into her ult and not have to risk her life playing close towards its front. And then he has a trapwire for short, and this trip is the trigger for a lot of utility, as you'll see in a second. Durka also has an op and is playing on top of truck. These vantage points are another great way to counter the Viper lurk smokes if you don't have a Sentinel. Just peek over them and get out once you shoot your shot. The round starts and Chronicle's pit spreads to cover the hookah and long entrance. Vitality responds by flashing up long, and Raze throws her Roomba into hookah. Both pieces tag nothing, and Vitality find out that this is where Viper's pit is. Pushing this would be a death sentence. So you see the offense start to rotate to short, but they have no clue that they're walking right into an op.
So there's no comfortable choice here, keep that in mind.
Durka didn't actually spot the foot of Bone Cold there.
Oh my word, this is so dangerous. Decides against sticking around on that.
Now, Durka saw these players, but not really. Viper's wall is weird. It's really wavy. At least that's what it looks like to us. But on the server, it's at a constant straight even level. Now, if you see someone while the wall has a high wave, you won't see them on your screen, but you will on your minimap. And that's what happened here. So Durka falls off the truck, not feeling safe, and him and his team prepare their protocol for when this trapwire finally breaks.
So conscious he doesn't want to show the operator too early.
Yep. Keeping that card close to the chest. There it is. Finally will be heard.
That trapwire was the signal for a complete bombardment of utility. We see a Brim Molly for the entrance, a Raze Knight on their head, and it's capped off with the smoke. Now because of this trip, the utility was timed perfectly, and just look at the chip damage. But Vitality aren't slowing down. They feel like if they don't go now, they're going to miss their timing. Now because FNATIC were able to push them back into short, you see them spraying and absolutely demolishing this rehit. And if you looked real close, Skye was constantly grabbing information in shower. She never tagged anyone, so they're focusing all of their spam into short. Brimstone goes down, and then they try to wall for the plants, but this thing just gets demolished. Now, Vitality have lamps control, but this isn't nearly enough. But they do feel like they've created enough pressure to where they can take the teleporter and punish FNATIC for over-rotating. And they're kinda right. Viper's pit just went down, and there's only 2 people in pretty passive positions. This is their best time to hit this site.
They have to readdress this one. Durka.
The Viper's pit's dropped. I mean, they still have this wall and the trap.
There's still Leo here too.
30 seconds.
Oh, that's horrible. Alpha
Spike down.
catching them perfectly. Sender gonna yes catch both.
This site hold was perfectly played by Alpha Air. All game, Vitality saw the Cypher utility on A site, so the one round it's here on B, they don't expect it. Not only that, but this trapwire is placed in such a way that Reyza's satchels won't break it if she flies out of hookah. And as you know, jumping out of hookah normally is impossible against anyone in a good position. So naturally, this was a massacre. Now Viper did stay behind and managed to find a lurk kill, but this round gets butchered by this setup, and she isn't saving this one. So after Vitality went bungee jumping last round, they start this one in a late 3-1-1 spread and plan on splitting B. But FNATIC are in a completely new setup. Brim starts on B, but smokes and eventually leaves Cypher alone and they force stack A. Now it's at this point that Vitality realize that FNATIC have had this Cypher trapwire holding short this entire time. So Sender immediately pops his lurk smokes and quickly walks up short. He snaps Cypher's trip and scurries back to short, expecting a crazy amount of utility like last round. But not this time. FNATIC have swapped up their protocol and simply just used their Skydog to re-clear the space. They're saving their utility for something special. Now after breaking that trapwire, Viper rejoins her team on B. And here's where we see that something special. If you take a look at the way Viper's wall is laid out this round, it looks a lot like the wall that we saw used to pinch showers. Now, with that in mind, what do you think this wall is being used for?
It's a trap!
You guessed it. This wall, when put up, protects you from anyone lurking short before you teleport, but it also cuts off any attackers who aren't in hookah yet. And this camera tucked far away in this corner is the trigger to this trap.
He's gonna hear the dog, but the first man to rotate will be Boaster.
Not spotted.
Oh lord.
Wasn't spotted from the Trailblazer.
He's getting proactive. It's probably the right choice. It's not a comfortable one, but he's actually won the fight as well. Taking out Sender, and FNATIC are there in
Vitality's dog completely missed Alpha Air, so he jumped back into hookah and pinched this part of the map with his teammates and their Viper wall. Not only that, but he swings back towards site to punish Destrian, who just got tangled in this low-to-the-ground sandy wire. And if you're a Cypher main, there's a ton of trips you can do across the site that extend super far and are extremely low to the ground. Use them. Regardless, Vitality lost this round in the span of 10 seconds, and Sage got left to fend for herself. This Cypher pick is looking very meta right now. FNATIC are pushed on a match point with last round's scary trap, and Vitality take a timeout to stop the momentum. Wow guys, we really didn't picture that round ending like that. Get it? Because the camera... I'm sorry. They start this round in a 1-1-3 default and plan on taking shower control to farm an ult orb, and Viper's going to pressure short. Then they'll end B. And FNATIC are in the same exact trap setup that we saw last round. Is this play going to work in back-to-back rounds? The attackers start this round by flashing into shower with their group of 3. And Chronicle comes over to jiggle this angle, but Vitality spam him back and deal minor chip damage. And with minor effort, they've taken shower and have gotten Brimstone his orb. But FNATIC are okay with that. If you look at their setup, Brimstone rotates over and commits to a 4-stack on A site. But why? Isn't stacking like this pretty risky and it leaves the entire other half of the map weak? Well, not really. Like we've seen before from FNATIC, their constant traps through the teleporters have been a nightmare for Vitality. And since they can be there in the snap of a finger, they aren't really leaving B site weak. If Cypher needs help, you're going to see the same reaction as last time. Hop into hookah with his cage or a smoke, pinch with his team, and hold this map control for the retake. So, no matter where Vitality go, FNATIC are ready to respond. B might look weak, but it isn't. So Vitality are still lurking around the map, and they're trying to burn more FNATIC utility before committing to a site. Sky's dog spots Brimstone outside of shower, then they head back to short to create more pressure behind their lurk smokes. Sage even tries to pre-fire Durka, who is peeking over their wall from the same spot as last round. So with this spread default, FNATIC don't really know where Vitality are going, but that doesn't matter. The attackers head back to B, they dog up long, and have no idea they're about to run into the same trap.
Now soon, 3 players, Molzy, Sender, Twiston. Oh, and this time Alpha slips just below the cage and actually could be in danger here. Twiston hunting it, yes he is. Alpha's gone down.
Alpha Air missed his jump into window, and his teammates on short were out of position to pinch in time. But while Alpha Air didn't get any, what he did do was stall long enough to give FNATIC a solid win condition back into this round. And that's running down the clock. Vitality have the site, but Brimstone and Raze are running in quick. These two ults will win them the round if they're used correctly. So how are the attack going to get the spike planted?
Strike does come in, that does deny the plant, but a new spot found. But there's the rocket going through. Twisting's been denied. He's in so much danger. Time! He's running out of time, and they have none left. 2 more seconds. They can try and fight it out, but all FNATIC has to do is stay alive. FNATIC with another win.
Vitality just didn't have enough time to plant, and FNATIC stalled them out perfectly. They win the game, and in every round we've broke down this half, Cypher has gotten so much value, and he's been the focal point of FNATIC's game plan. And it's looked great. If you're a Cypher main, this should be your map. Now before I go guys, be sure to play War Thunder for free right now using my link in the description. If you're looking for a realistic war game that actually makes you feel immersed, War Thunder is exactly what you're looking for. It is free, why not give it a shot?